Okay. Uh it is the next episode. It's time to go. Goku's fucking dead. They killed him. They got my boy. Um Master Roshi fired off his highest power Kamehameha wave towards Goku's direction, and he's not there anymore, so all we can really assume is that he's dead. Yamcha did his best to stop it by running towards them and yelling no. Fucking great effort, Yamcha. I feel like he could have maybe thrown the baseball energy ball in there and kind of helped Goku. You know, hindsight is 2020, I guess. But we get the recap, and the kind of temple ground is blown to pieces. Um, Bulma's distraught, Krillin's distraught, uh, Roshi's breathing heavily. So obviously that blast took a lot out of him. Um, but we uh, were stuck believing that Goku might be gone as we get the final uh, final time we see this symbol. The final blow is the name of this episode. Uh, Whereas in the sub, it is Clash, Power versus Power. Um, I'm just rewinding it to hear specific verbiage here. Okay. Um, Bulma asks, "Doesn't anyone understand what happened?" And Yamcha says, "I'm not even sure I do." Whereas in the sub, he says, or in the sub, Bulma says, Goku's been blown to bits, and Yamcha says he didn't have to kill him. Um, I'm hearing the insults that she throws out now. Bulma does not insult him in this version. In the sub, she calls him an idiot, weasel, miserable jackass, and a stupid bastard. Whereas in the dub, she says, "Don't just stand there, say something, do something." To which he says, "Stop your moaning." You see that over there? That's his tail. Um, and we see the tail, and the rubble falls to the side, and Goku is, he's fine. His little baby butt sticking out. Roshi says, "I wasn't aiming for Goku. Look up." And he destroyed the moon. He decided that killing the moon would be killing the moon. Destroying the moon would be the only way to stop Goku. Nice. Okay, so slight difference for what the announcer says. In the sub, he laments that there will not be any more moon viewing. Werewolves won't be able to transform. And elegance and tastefulness is dead because the moon is gone. Whereas in the dub, he says that moonlit walks won't be a thing anymore, um, nor will. Uh, Actually, I missed the second thing, unfortunately. I I heard it, I just didn't process it. Um, Moonlit walks, and um, the Wolfman not being able to transform. Anyway, back to the fight. Goku and Roshi both take their stances. We see a couple of girls watching on, and they say, "This is the first time I've ever seen one of those." Because Goku's completely naked. When he transformed into the Great Ape, his clothes did not transform with him. Um, that seems to be a Vegeta thing only, um, or at least Saiyans that stayed on their planet thing only. Um, anyway, uh, Goku's naked. Announcer calls like hiatus for the match, so Goku can go put some clothes on. Krillin suggests that he just take his gi, just put my gi on, and I'll change into my other clothes. Goku does. Krillin tries to like let him know that he's the one who wrecked the ring and became a monster and whatnot. And Goku says, What do you mean?" And Krillin just kind of drops it. He recognizes that now's not the time for it. Goku re-enters the ring, and they go to begin fighting, but his stomach growls. He's hungry. Roshi recognizes that as an opening and goes to fire a Kamehameha wave towards him. Fuck. And it just won't come out. He's out of energy. Um, Goku goes to do the same, uh, and does get one off, but Roshi dodges it. Goku then leaps into the air after him to kind of kick him in his stomach. Um, we see Roshi falling towards the ground. It seems like he will just barely uh, be out by ring out. He's not going to be able to land on the ring. And it seems as though he is out. Um, he kind of takes a squatted stance, and um, it seems like it's over. Everyone begins celebrating. Goku seems pretty happy in the ring. The announcer's ready to call it, uh, but Roshi says, "Wait, don't celebrate just yet. Come check my feet out. Come take a look at my feet." To which the announcer walks over to Roshi, sees that he has kicked the side of the ring and stuck his foot in the ring so that he's not out yet. All of his weight is held from that hole that he kicked in the ring. But he climbs back on, and says that Goku's out of energy now too, so they're gonna have to just mano y mano. Um, he says they're fresh out of techniques, so martial arts is about uh, bodies colliding together, and the simple matter is whoever's stronger will win. Um, Roshi says, "Come at me, Goku. Make this match worthwhile. Give me everything you've got." Um, in the sub, he says, "Smash your power into mine," which is an interesting translation. But that's what he says. So they take their stance, ready to finally get at it without any of the fancy, like, beam attacks or tricks or anything like that. It's just straight up martial arts. Um, Roshi lands the first blow after a fury. Um, oh, they took out the song. Wow. Okay. So there's a song in the sub that like plays during this episode, like during this fight between Goku and Roshi, and it's just straight up not here. Um, I'm not like misremembering this at all. Uh, and it's a pretty good song. It's fun. Um, but I guess they wanted to make it more serious in the dub. I'm not sure, but uh, it's a little too fast for me to commentate on. Essentially, they're just throwing blows at each other and dodging. If you've ever seen Dragon Ball, you know what it's like. Uh, Goku lands a couple hits, Roshi lands a couple hits. They finally take a step back. We see both of them bruised, uh, just bruised and battered. Damn, I can't believe they took the song out. I'm gonna see if I can look it up real quick. As they take a step back and kind of reflect on their next move, Roshi says, "Okay, Goku, this is it," and they leap towards each other. But Roshi knows that Goku's shorter than him, uh, so they leap to kick each other, and Roshi's kick lands because his legs are longer. He kicks Goku in the face. Goku's kick does not land on Roshi. They both land Goku on his back, Roshi on his side. Double knockout. The announcer starts counting. Um, the crowd is rooting for both of them at this point. It's not like um a one-sided support from this crowd. So they both go to stand up, and by 10 neither of them have. Goku's still on the ground. Jackie Chun's on his side. Okay. Roughly the same rules as the sub. Um, Whoever stands first and declares that he's the champion wins. Because the martial arts tournament can't go without a champion. But in the sub, whoever stands first and says, "I won, man," uh, is the winner. Goku makes it to his feet first after quite a bit of struggling, and it looks like he's about to win it. And as he's about to finish speaking, he falls flat. He passes out. He just couldn't handle it. Um, that's right. I'm trying to see if there's a name for that song. Dragon Ball. Uh, Roshi makes it to his feet and strikes a pose. He says, "I won, man." He's just full of youthful exuberance. So Jackie Chun, Roshi, takes it. He is the winner. Unfortunate for Goku. He looks kind of petered out though. He's very tired. Um, he comments on how the only reason that he won was the length of his legs. Had Goku been the same size, he probably would have succumbed. We see Goku with a smile on his face. It seems like he was just happy to fight a good match. He finally wakes up, kind of props himself up, and says, "Oh, lost, huh?" Um, and Roshi says, "Yep, too bad." Uh, the announcer calls the crowd forward to just kind of, give a round of applause for Goku because he fought hard. He's 12 years old fighting this old man. Uh, but Jackie Chun is crowned the champion. They bring over his winnings to him, 500,000 zenny. Yep, same in the sub and the dub. Goku's just kind of pleased that he fought a stronger opponent. He makes Jackie Chun promise to fight him again after he gets stronger. And Jackie Chun does, fully knowing that that's probably not gonna happen. Um, Krillin congratulates him, and they set off to find Roshi. Roshi's in the bushes, naturally, changing his clothes so as to not be seen by anyone. Unfortunately, with changing his clothes comes taking off his wig that he glued to his head. He says, "The things I do for love." Um, he goes through a lot for his pupils. He says, "All things considered, that was a close match, and those guys are something else." And starts to think about what he should spend his money on. Naturally, it's nudie mags. He's thinking about hiring some bunnies to sit around him as a kid with a jazz hat watches him walk by. Uh, Great for you, Roshi. Goku's starving. The gang is kind of just waiting around in the middle of the ring, trying to see where Roshi is. Goku falls flat on his back. He's just that hungry, it seems. And finally, Roshi walks up to him. He says, "Yeah, I was just watching the matches from the back, and I had to run off to the restroom." Um, but he tells Krillin that he saw all of their matches and was pretty proud. Uh, Goku says even if he wasn't hungry in the last match, he probably still would have lost. Roshi says, um, uh, Roshi says there's plenty of martial arts techniques that they don't know, and that all of their training and whatnot has been child's play up until this point. Uh, Winning this thing shouldn't be their goal, and that this is where their real training begins, which he loves to say. And then he kind of laments that he went through a lot just to get that point across. But we see Goku just absolutely salivating, uh, like a waterfall falling from his mouth as he thinks about eating. So Roshi says, "Okay, let's eat my treat. All of you can come along, and we'll We'll have a good time. Um, and he's just absolutely crushing it, bowl after bowl. The rest of the table kind of watching in horror as he clears plates. Uh, Bulma says he ate enough for 32 people. Yamcha says more like 50. Um, Goku says, "Can I have more?" Uh, and Roshi's like, "Are you sure about that?" And he says, "Yeah, I should probably save room for dessert." Funny guy, funny guy. Whereas in the sub, he says, "Can I have more?" Um, Roshi says, "Don't you think you've had enough?" And Goku says, "You're right. Moderation is key." Um, so, haha, funny. Pretty funny stuff. Um, but they wrap up the bill. It was almost all of Roshi's money. I think the bill came out to 470,000 zenny total. Um, so he's left with 30K. Hopefully that will pay for the flight home, I guess. Um, but they fly out, and that's it. That's the end of the tournament saga. Um, really a fun one. It it's kind of like Dragon Con for me. The tournaments. It as soon as it ends, I'm ready for the next one. I am excited for the next one to come along. Um, but yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Um, if you did, do the YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe, bell icon. Bye.